Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So we from CMD group, we will present to you the QMS flow system. So this is our group member, Fatihah, Nuralisya, Azwa, Sheng, Mohamad Azib, Fikri and Mohamad Amirul, Aiman. And for this part, we will present to you about the overview, the architectural pattern and rationale, implementation view, which is component model based on architectural pattern. Next, implementation view, complete package diagram, and the logical view, detailed class diagram. For the process view, we will present to you about the detailed sequence diagram and the deployment diagram.
So this is our architecture pattern and rational layer architecture. So we choose for layer architecture for our project is because it's easier to know about each layer what the task they will do. So the first is our presentation layer. Our presentation layer have audit management UI, CAPA assign, training management, device and equipment, and calibration alert UI. So the presentation will pass to business logic layer. Each of the UI will consider to their service, and after that it will go to the data access layer. The data access layer is mainly to keeping the data from the service, and the repository will pass to database layer, which is our central QMS database.
So for our KMS flow system, we have adopted a three-tier layer architecture. As shown is in the diagram, the system is divided into three distinct layers. The first one is the user interface layer on the left, which is the web browser client handling user interaction. The second one is the domain layer in the center, which hosts our core business logic, including modules for audit, CAPA, and employee training. This is where the application server process requests. And the last one is the data access layer on the right, which ensure secure storage and retrieval of data from the QMS Flow DB. We chose this pattern to decouple the interface from the logic and data, ensuring the system is maintainable, secure, and scalable as we add more modules.
Okay, for the next one is the implementation view, which is our component model. So from the left side, it is from our previous SRS documentation, which is the both are use case diagram for our KMS flow system. But the left side is our main use case, and the right side is currently we doing for our SDD, which is we restructured and grouped them into 5 core functional modules to simplify the design and align with the architecture implementation for this phase. So each module represent a major ISO line function of the quality management system, which we can see we got 5 modules here. The first one is device and equipment management, and also employee training, CAPA management module, calibration and notification module, and also audit management module. So these selected use case are supported by using the include and extend use case so that they can reflect the mandatory and conditional behavior. This use case view acts as the unifying reference for all architectural views after this that we will show you. So next.
Okay, so our logical views is for CPA assign is my class diagram. So I have user class, auditor class, document management, document change request class, CAPA assignments, CAPA class, database class, and notification class. So for our user class have name, user ID, role, and email. So they just can modify for login and logout. So auditor is just recording the every action that the user did, and document change request is approve the file or reject the file that had used by the auditor. So database is keeping the data, and when the user has do the action for CAPA assignment, after the user doing the CAPA assignment, they will receive the notification to the audit, and the notification will notify the audit what the user had do.
Next, we are looking at the logical view. We focus here on the employee training subsystem. This is a class diagram illustrate how the code is structured. As you can see, the separation of duties, we have here a view class like assignment window and training dashboard, which is handle the display. And then we have controller classes like training handler, which is manage the logic such as assigning training or checking for overdue records. We also have entity and data access classes like training record and training record DA, which is handles the actual data persistence. This structure ensures that our training logic is centralized and easy to update without breaking the user interface.
Okay, for device equipment management, I have three part: equipment management window, equipment handler, and equipment database. So the equipment management window use equipment handler to manage the equipment database.
Next is the audit management, which is we can see this class diagram, it from the auditor's perspective. And also it also show the key classes involved for the auditor conducts an audit, record findings, upload evidence, and also assign the CAPA. So the first one is the audit handler, and we also have a central control, audit checklist and audit finding, evidence, and audit, which is they connect with each other with the relationship which manage, use, supported by, and also upload, which is each of the class has their own attribute listed so that we can move to the architecture reviews.
Okay, so for my part, this is the class diagram. Show the main component of the calibration management system. So first, the user action are recorded in audit trail for the traceability, and the equipment has a calibration schedule that define frequency and next due date. So next, the schedule will use a calibration method to ensure standard procedures. And when the calibration is done, a calibration record is created and linked to a calibration certificate. So the notifications are triggered for due or overdue calibration, and all the data is stored in the database.
So this is CAPA assign of package and sequence diagram. So our CAPA subsystem has CAPA initiation, notification management, task management, verification and follow-up, action management, and form management. So CA initiation is related to notification management since every action will be notified to the action management, and after that will verification and follow up to the task management. So the originally starter is from the form management. Okay, so this is the sequence diagram for assigned CAPA. So the admin will need to start enter the CAPA details and submit the CAP and save the assignment and log to the assignment. After that, if the data is validate, the system will go back to save assignment into the database.
Here we have a package and sequence diagram for the employee training. On the left, we have the package diagram, reinforce our layer approach, grouping classes into view, domain, and data access package for better organization. Next, we have on the right side, we have a sequence diagram, which is visualize the assigned training scenario. It traces the flow step by step. Like the head of department select the staff member, click assign, and the training handler validates the request before the training record DA execute the SQL insert to save the records. This demonstrates exactly how the object interact in real time to complete a task.
Okay, for the device equipment, for the left side, we have the device. Uh, we have three components: is domain model layer, control layer, and view layer. And for the right side, it's about the sequence diagram. So for the first, from the admin, they select the gesture equipment, and next go to the equipment handler, and the equipment handler will send to the storage, validate and save the equipment data, and the equipment data will show the confirmation status to the window, and the window will display to the admin.
Okay, next we have the audit management subsystem. The package diagram here is structured on layered architecture, which is this is for our subsystem. And the first layer we could see that there is the view layer, domain layer, and also data access layer, which is the view layer handles the user interface, and also the domain act as business logic and quantities of this audit management, and also the data access layer act as a database interaction. So each functional module for this audit management organized into its own package structure across these layers. This is to ensure high cohesion within the modules and also easier to maintenance and scalability. So the package diagram also ensures that use cases are traceable to software components and that each module can be developed independently. So we can see the next sequence diagram at the right side. Okay, so for these layers, we have actors, business logic, data access, included use case, and also extended use case. So the sequence diagram illustrates the runtime interaction between the conduct audit use case, including checklist viewing, evidence upload, and also CAPA assignment. So for the actors is the auditor, and it will interact through the audit dashboard in the view layer. The request is then passed to the audit controller in the controller layer, which coordinate the workflow. So the audit service in the domain layer handle the business rules such as validating the audit, checking compliance, decide whether CAPA is required or not. And then for the data access, all persistent data such as audit record, checklist data, and CAPA information are managed through the audit repository, which communicate with the database. So for the included use case, this diagram include the view audit checklist and also the upload audit evidence.
Okay, so for send calibration alert, uh, on the left side we have the package diagram. So this package diagram show how the system is divided into modules. So the calibration, scheduling, manage equipment, frequency, and due date. And then the method definition, store, stand, calibration procedure. So next, the calibration record will handle result and certificate uploads. And then for the calibration certificate, it will manage PDF or image certificate. And the record management ensure database storage and audit logging. So last, the alert and notification will send reminders and alert. So for the next, on the right side, we have the sequence diagram, which is the sequence diagrams explain how the calibration alerts work. So the system timer automatically triggered a calibration check, and the controller check equipment scheduler, and if the calibration is due or overdue, a notification is created and it will be sent. And then the overdue alert are also logging the audit trail, and if nothing is due, so no action is taken.
Okay, for the last part, for the deployment view, deployment diagram, here is have three part: client device, server, and component database. So the client device show the web browser, and the server have two, which is internet and application server. And next, going to the component, QMS flow database.
So that's all from us. Thank you.